Info Warrior 13 signing in. The global awakening continues to occur, but at the same time, we see the evil communist China welding in individuals into high rises. Now you say, well, that's the communist Chinese. That's what they do. You don't argue with their communist regime. But yet, here in Australia, we are not being welded into high-rise buildings, but forcibly locked down under police guard. Now, given the circumstances, you can go, yes, because of the word that can't be spoken unless you get banned off of every platform there is on the internet. But when you think about it, if this can happen to one section of the population, it can happen to another and another and another. So you sit back and say, that's not going to happen to me. It's never going to happen to me. I'm healthy. What if you test positive one day for the CV, and then you're not even sick, but you have a trace element of it in your body? Does that mean now you are forcibly locked down? Everyone you've come into contact needs to be forcibly traced via the app. It's a double-edged sword. It's like technology. It's being used, in my opinion. My political thought on this can be used for whatever is necessary. So many times we have seen one event take place, then freedom's taken away. One event take place, then more freedom's taken away. Rightly so, some people need to lose their freedoms. If you want to crack down on criminal networks, terrorists and the like, of course, use the agencies. Of course, crack down on them. Don't then use that same technology on we the people. The free and open, politically free, not under a communist regime. Don't then use that same technology to lock us down, to get into our back doors of our phones, to get into our computers, to monitor every single thing we do. There's legislation in place that anything you do at work can be tracked and traced, not by only your organization, but by the government itself. Of course you knew that though. So I sit back and watch, and as an article is released again and again, possible treatments for the CV, an actual treatment for the CV, a doctor has come out and said this is what's been working in Singapore, Japan and Taiwan. But yet, instead of openly adapting this and applying this to countries like even China, here in Australia, instead of applying these potential cures, we're pushing for a medical technological vaccine that needs to be researched and developed. Yes, I'm all for developing something that can be the cure for all viruses. Can you imagine that? Do you know what a virus is, people? If all viruses could be eradicated healthily, naturally, avoided, if there was a cure for it, of course, why not seek it? But is this really the way you want to go about it? A Chinese-made bioweapon released on the world, which then allows the world to go into lockdown, which crashes the economy globally, which then allows all the research funding required to develop a antiviral vaccine, which has never been done before that I am aware of, because there is no vaccine for COVID just yet. We know the flow-on effects. Now, I'm sure there are many great people. I'm not a medical expert. There might have been things I've missed. But if there is a viable treatment that is relatively cheap, that can cure, prevent deaths, why is that not being rolled out? Why do the politicians not know of this? Why do we sit back, be forcibly locked down, be forcibly vaccinated, potentially, by an unproven technology that is yet to be developed? That is not saying vaccines don't work. But then there are cleaner ones that certain politicians are allowed to get. I want those ones. I don't want the dirty ones. I want the clean ones. Do you think a mass vaccination for CV is going to be the clean one? The expensive ass clean one? Or do you think it's going to be a garbage medical scheme that allows for mass rollout of forcibly vaccinated citizens across the world. I'm sure the third world is going to take that real well if they're already starving, malnutrition, and they haven't even got any water to drink. Of course, they're going to react real well to a nice, clean, dirty vaccine. Like I said, InfoWars has been right so many times. It's been brought to my attention. There is a potential cure. Sorry, not a cure. There is a potential treatment to alleviate the symptoms of CV. Now, why isn't this being rolled out so it doesn't develop into something else? You go for the root cause, people. Arguably, prevention is better than cure. But if you get to the root cause, stop it from developing, mutating into something else, alleviating the symptoms, then you will be able to function as a society. Then you won't need the mass vaccinations. Then you won't need the forcibly injected technology into your bloodstream, which could do what to your DNA? Untested, people. We have technology everywhere. We have so much. So if there's a back door in a computer, a black hat hacker can access and a white hat hacker can access. Who else? Does only one country have a black hat hacker? Does only one country have a white hat hacker? Is there rogue individuals who would also have this hacker? Then we have the app that's open to everyone. Then we're increasingly monitoring and increasing the camera presence everywhere. So you have CCTV, so you can't even leave your house without someone knowing, because you turn Google Maps off your phone, it doesn't turn off. It's got like a cloud version that someone else has accessed, stored in the cache somewhere else that someone else can access. So it's never gone, it's always there. Even in the background, you can't access it, someone else can. You kidding me, right? You're telling me this app's secure? You're telling me that people being forcibly locked down in a democratic society like Australia is healthy due to the health fears. But instead of treating people and giving them this option to try and actually cure them, or cure, the symptoms of it, so it does not develop into the pandemic level, why aren't we doing it? Why aren't we doing that? Why in this country can we not roll out this treatment? What is wrong with you people? What is wrong? Is it because you don't know? Is it because you don't care? Is it because you've got advisors that don't even know what they're talking about? Is it because you are ill-informed? Or is it because you try and portray and explain how wonderful this lockdown is and how wonderful the app is, but at the same time, you're telling everyone there's cyber attacks coming from China? If the cyber attacks are coming from China, what do you think they're going to be attacking? An app that tracks everyone's movements? That might just be on their goddamn hit list. Everyone's medical records, that might be on the hit list. What blood type everyone is, what genetic backgrounds everyone has, where they reside, their driving records, all of this potentially, in my opinion, is hackable. And if it's hackable, it's crackable, it's trackable. What do you think has probably already happened and is happening on a daily basis? We need to wake up. We need to not sit back and just let everyone be locked down. Why can't the people under lockdown have some treatment if they're showing symptoms? Are they showing symptoms? Is anyone showing symptoms? These people with the figures that are increasing, are they actually showing symptoms? If they are showing symptoms and they are developing at a rapid rate, please treat them. Don't just sit back and go, I don't know what to do. We'll lock everyone down in the perimeter. It makes no sense. Please. So if someone told you, I was watching a TV show and it's funny, I never watch TV. I'm at the gym. A picture appears. It's called The Magic Box. I'm trying to figure out what this guy's doing. It looks like photography. I thought he was like counterfeiting something. Next thing it shows him, he's basically in this TV show, the movie, the first person to ever develop film. However he does it, he runs down the street to tell someone. He runs into a cop. The cop thinks he's mad. He's like, what's this guy on? What's he talking about? He's telling him what he has invented, what he has discovered. It's not until he actually sees it when he believes it. What do you think? All these people that know everything, they're being fed all this fear on the mainstream media. They're being locked down. They're thinking another person is dirty. They're gonna give them germs. But other doctors have said you need to build up your immune system. You don't want to catch it, but you don't want to suppress your immune system. Then you have another treatment, a potential cure that's been rolled out in other countries that have far less deaths. But yet, for some reason, I just was thinking about it. I thought it doesn't matter that much. It's just lockdown, whatever. People have said they're not listening. It's because people aren't listening. They need to be locked down. But then that can be used against someone. That can be used against you. What if you get a text message from the government saying you have been identified as a potential threat to spread CV? You need to lock down. If you do not lock down, you'll get a fine. If you break, and it can go on and on and on and on. We're free here in the West, aren't we? Wait, what? We're under lockdown. We're being tracked forcibly. I'm not saying don't be healthy. I'm saying don't use the technology on your people when you can have cures in place, stopping all this nonsense, stopping the lockdowns, opening up the economy. Look at other states. Look at what they're doing. Here in South Australia, how many goddamn infections have we got? At the moment, arguably zero from the last time I checked. But how can another state have all these cases, and the cure for the cases is to lock everyone down, to let them spread it so they don't spread it to anyone else, you know? Wait, what? Why don't you treat it? Oh, there's no treatment. There's no cure. There's no vaccine yet. Why don't you build your immune system? Why don't you be healthy? Why don't you roll out this treatment? We don't know where to go to get it. If you don't know where to get it, but the information is right there, someone has just told you that they've invented the first ever video player, the magic box. People think you're crazy. People aren't listening. Please wake up. Do you understand? The information is right in front of your face. Everything. Everything. And we won't listen. We don't care. We don't know. We listen to the mainstream media. When they get it right, that's good. When they get it wrong, we still listen to them. Why do we not accept facts when we see it? Because we're like the cop. We think this person's mad. Running down the street in the middle of the night, explaining he invented something no one's ever heard of. People who invented university didn't go to university. People who invented the first video motion picture, it had never existed before then. People who are treating the symptoms of CV, this has never happened before. People think you're crazy. Is it the same thing? Think about it, people. Where next? The economy? The petrodollar? Energy? What else aren't we being told? Technology. Think about it. This is why the global awakening is occurring. The only way the people who do not want this global awakening to occur, for whatever reason, is the suppression of free speech, of technology, through technology. The suppression of free speech, free and open thought to the entire world. Why do you think China's locked down their internet? Why do you think other countries, communist countries, don't let any information in? It might help the damn people develop clean water systems instead of relying on the government to provide them with a system to give them everything. Do you think in other countries they're getting JobKeeper? We are so lucky here. People aren't going to want to go back to work because the JobKeeper is propping them up better than they were before. Does that improve morale, or does that create a state dependent on the welfare that is so nicely handed to them? Why, people? Why do we not understand information that is factual, that is being presented to all of us? There is a treatment for CV. But we don't listen. We accept lockdowns. Arguably, we're going to accept forcible vaccinations in the future, should one be developed, that is not tested. We are the test subjects here. We will put up with whatever they can get away with. This is why when people are running around the streets telling you that they've discovered the magic box, maybe you should listen to them, and maybe you should go and have a look, see if it's true or not. Info Warrior 13, signing out.